It's like I've had a bucket of cold water dumped on me. Iria was consumed by that black wave. No, she willingly threw herself into it. I wasn't able to stop her. It took everything I had just to explain things to Son. I could barely keep it together. So how can he...
約束する。絶対にイリアを取り戻す。
ボンクラ野郎が。
What basis does he have for saying she's still alive? How does he plan to find her if she is? It doesn't matter. Son said he'll get her back. His heart ain't dead yet. So maybe mine's got some life left in it too. As we speed away on the freeway, the black wave gives up chasing us. None of us says a word. A reunion and a loss. Relief and regrets. Everything intermingles in a thick, impenetrable fog. Have I just lost whatever I need to see through it? Either way, the silence is unbearable. The dusky red mass that has consumed the fortress is visible through the window, writhing menacingly. What is that thing? My X-brain tells me it's a variant of smart material. It looks much larger, more voluminous than I remember it being moments ago. Is it self-propagating? Perhaps it truly has consumed the fortress. I've got a bad feeling about this. And well, you know. Let's set that aside for now. We're traveling along the Shudo Expressway. A number of cars can be seen stopped up ahead of us. Some of them are military police striders. They're blocking the entire road. Kiri starts to slow down.
皆さん、ご覧ください。ザ・フォートレスの城壁が今まさに崩れようとしています。
ここは危険だ。避難しろ。聞こえないのか。
News crews try to push their way in, while Kazuma and Mitsumin struggle to hold them back. Kiri probably told them to be here ahead of time. The situation is a bit too urgent to waste time going through official channels.
何が起こってるんですか？
調査中だ。これ以上近づくことは許さん。
横暴です。私たちには知る権利が。
命あっての物種だろうが。
As they argue, a loud noise echoes from behind us. The dusky red magma looses itself from the remains of the fortress. Smart material spills forth. But the blob doesn't simply disperse. It washes over the asphalt of the expressway, headed straight for us. Kazuma rouses the startled news crews into action. They discard their equipment and sprint to their vehicles, running for dear life. Meanwhile, the military police troops hurriedly board their striders. Dozens of vehicles make U-turns at once. Congested is an understatement. If you're using a vehicle that can be operated manually, it's quicker to do it this way than command it to reverse. One of the cars spins out of control and crashes into a wall. It doesn't start back up again. I have to literally hold her back from jumping out of the strider to go help the car's passengers. All the while, the smart material continues rushing toward us. Well, in that case, it's my duty to protect you. I dive out of the car without waiting for a response. I can hear a low rumbling noise from behind as the wall of smart material continues to advance. We've got to make this quick. Kiri busts the car's window open and reaches her hand out to the woman driving. It's the reporter from earlier. The front of the car is crushed and her leg is trapped, held in place by jagged, twisted metal. I don't think legs are supposed to bend that way. No time to hesitate. My X-brain knows what to do. Cut it off. Sorry, lady. I pull out Rabbit Punch and rev up its engine. Seeing the ultra-hard polycrystalline diamond blade, the reporter curls up in terror. One clean swipe. This baby can cut through a tank if need be. Flesh and bone ain't no thing. Better your leg than your life, lady. Like I said, sorry. It's better than dying. You can just grow a new one. Yeah, sure you can. Anyway, we need to book it. Ayuka has the Strider waiting nearby. I grab the reporter's bleeding thigh and push her inside with some help from Kiri. Kiri uses the handrail to make her way back in. Someone fights from the inside, Etika fights on the outside, baby. I take a more direct approach. As soon as I land, the Strider takes off. I grab onto the edge of the hatch with a single finger as wind whips against me. Just a little more and I'll be through. Wait, I can't lift my leg! Damn it! It caught me! I lose my grip on the hatch. My hand was slippery from the blood. Kiri leans out of the hatch and catches me by the wrist in the nick of time. She holds onto me tightly, refusing to let go. The smart material doesn't let up though. It strengthens its grip on my leg, pulling my entire body back. The Strider is moving just slightly faster than the dusky red wave pursuing it. If I let go, they'll be able to get away. I can feel Kiri's grip start to loosen. She's an unmodified human. I doubt she can keep these up much longer. If I don't let go now, it'll be both our asses. My ex-brain suggestion is nothing if not rational.
キリねって話して。バカ！でもじゃない！諦めないのがエツカちゃんでしょ！
I wouldn't give up if I were still alive, true. But I'm dead, Kiri. I can't believe in miracles anymore. Are you sure? One of the Striders drops in its speed, moving closer to the encroaching wave. It lets loose with a volley of shots. The wave shrinks back from the force of the impact, and the smart material tendril loosens its grip on me. In waiting to deliver the finishing blow is... Mitsumin hops from Strider to Strider as they blaze down the expressway. With one swipe of her vibroblade, she severs the tendrils grabbing onto me. I watch as fragments of it recede into the distance. Mitsumin crouches atop the Strider's roof as new tendrils spring forth, leveling her katana. Kiri forcibly pulls me into the car with her. Well, that was harrowing. Ayuka puts the proverbial pedal to the metal, tearing away from the smart material pursuing us. Kazuma's voice emerges from the car speaker. Kiri's currently tending to the reporter. She should pull through as long as you can stop the bleeding. Man, I feel like I actually went to the true route accidentally. I feel like if this was like the very last route I did, I would have been very satisfied. Now I don't know if I would be satisfied with all the other routes. God damn it. I kind of feel sad and happy at the same time because I just like one-shot this true route. The transmission cuts out. The Strider shakes hard. I have to slam my hand against the wall to maintain my balance. What's happening outside? My ears! Motherfucker! When did that thing creep up on our flank? Our Strider narrowly evades the black wave lunging at us, but the one following beside us does not. Mitsumin leaps into the sky, landing on Kazuma's strider with Soshimaru in hand. She cuts away at dusky red tendrils one after another, maintaining her balance atop the juddering vehicle with what can only be described as superhuman adroitness. What the hell is that word? But too little, too late. Mitsumin's battle cry is absorbed into the ever-advancing mass.
急ぎます。
The strider speeds up again. This means leaving Kazuma and Mitsumin to their fates. But I can't bring myself to protest against it. We quickly overtake the other vehicles. We pass by a Qualicon close enough to make out the expressions of terror on its passengers' faces. They desperately try to escape the wave closing in on them, but to no avail. We're unable to do anything but watch as they're swept up in the wave. Cars are consumed one after another. Our strider continues to accelerate. In the face of this all-consuming dusky red wave of death, we are utterly powerless. But Ethica, are you sure you shouldn't do anything about that? After dropping off the reporter at the hospital, Aso Kiriri makes her way to Snowbound Nirvana. The room is hotter than one would ever imagine the hyperghetto could be, and the scent of cup noodles fills the air. The cluttered room is by no means an appropriate place for a meeting, but Nagaoka Son is still driving through the highway. Kansu can't leave him unattended. Gathered in the room are Kiriri, Ethica, Tokitaka, and Ayuka. They exchange sporadic glances, no one speaking a word. Kansu's 12 CRT monitors are displaying news feeds from all over the net. Footage of the black wave pursuing cars on the expressway plays on repeat. The stench of death hangs in the air. If Iria were here, she would know exactly how to lighten the mood. Or perhaps, Captain Nagisa would take charge, as is her wont. What the hell? What does that mean? As is her wont? Gijo Mitsumi, too, might offer a unique perspective. But all of them were swallowed up by the dusky red.
あいつは何者だ。
謎の液体が体内を循環しているようだが、おそらくスマートマテリアルの一種だろう。報道で発表されている通り、その占有面積は1時間で 2.3 倍のペースで増えている。
The airwaves are abuzz with conjecture from experts. If we assume it is harvesting resources to fuel its reproduction, then once it has bled the quarry dry, it will be coming for the hot pipes next. Within 12 hours, it is estimated to consume the Yamanote line. If Tokyo's central geothermal power plant falls, the city's supply of steam will be cut off completely. Citizens have nowhere to run. Anywhere without hot pipes is a frozen wasteland. Tokyo's death is nigh.
ソリさん、
Kiriri speaks up. Sitting around won't accomplish anything.
何か知っていることはありませんか？
確かに私は有益な情報を与えることができるでしょう。しかし私よりも説明に適した方がいらっしゃるようです。
Ooh, Kansu?
適した方？どうしたの？
Kansu opens the front door. Ah. Yamanuma Kagekatsu looks around the room with a visible grimace. From behind him appears...
おう、悪くない。
ソフィアさん。
ああ、君か。先日は世話になったな。
She didn't even say her name in English. Wow. What a stuck-up bitch.
いえ、私は私の仕事を果たしただけです。
しかし、ひどく匂うな、この部屋は。
すぐにナノリフレッシャーを。
Oh, he was grimacing because of the smell.
構わん。この不快感も東京に生きている証だ。そうだろ？
まあね、私は死んでるからもう匂わないけど。
Ethica's joke lightens the mood. Not even God himself could intimidate her. Perhaps that sort of mental fortitude runs in the Karasuzumi family. Tokitaka speaks up next.
東京中で遊んでるって噂は聞いた。でも、なぜ今ここに？
東京を救うためだ。
話を詳しく聞かせてもらいますね。
もちろん、私はそのためにここへとやってきた。
Sophia says, narrowing her eyes. Sophia Korazaki is the CEO of the Empire Energy Corp, and thus the de facto leader of the energy elite. Until now, she has lived in another world. Her goals and intentions remain unknown to Tokyo's citizens. Sophia advances into the center of the room. All eyes are on her. Even in this cramped, squalid room, Sophia retains a certain dignity about her.
古代ギリシャはポリスという都市国家単位で地中海世界に植民し、ヨーロッパ史の礎を築いた。氷河期を迎えた地球で人類が再び繁栄の道をたどるには、それが最も効率の良い方法と我々は判断した。それを可能にしたのが人工細胞と生物から生成した新型のスマートマテリアル、リブマテリアルだ。
Kiriri is familiar with the composition of the Tokyo Megafloat. The energy elite treated it almost as if it were a plant of some sort, raising it by hand. Indeed, it seemed fundamentally different from the smart material used to create structures such as the fortress.
リブマテリアルは相互に疑似血管で結ばれており、これに海水を流すことでナトリウムから水素を抽出することができる。抽出された水素は疑似血管を周回する急増合金に取り込まれ、水素貯蔵ステーションに運搬、水素燃料として発電が行われる。
It's such a too good to be true material, man.
それを陸地の都市へと供給することでエネルギー問題は解決する。リブマテリアルの開発によって我々は地熱発電の制約から解放されるのだ。
Tokyo is reliant on the central hot zone's geothermal energy. If it were truly to become possible to refine hydrogen from seawater, then mankind would no longer be bound to the land, free to once again tread the path of prosperity.
事故に近似した複製を生産することが可能な都市、完璧な生命都市を作るのが我々の目標だった。
それが東京リバースプロジェクト。
Sophia nods.
だが複製には課題があった。環境に対応できるだけの多様性を確保するためには、ただ生命をそのまま複製すればよいというのではない。我々は物理モデルを利用して機械的に新たな都市を生み出す方法を模索した。だがそれはことごとく失敗に終わった。自然選択に任せては生物の進化は望めない。複製の制作には生物自身の意識、目的が必要。それが私たちの出した結論だ。部品を太平洋に投げ入れても自然に任せたままでは時計は組み上がらないのだよ。
I mean, duh. Parts of a clock is not living material. It all comes together for Kiriri.
そこでサブコンが、そしてサブコンとコンタクトができるイリアさんが必要とされた。
ここから先は彼女の方が適当だろう。
Ayuka continues where Sophia left off.
ホットパイプという血液で生きる人間がノードとなり、巨大なメッシュネットワークのシナプスで結ばれた街、東京。無意識下の電気信号のやり取りがある敷地を超えたとき、意識が飽和しました。それがサブスタンスコンセプトです。
東京の意識だと。
I guess everyone doesn't know what subcon is, except for Iria and Sophia, huh?
普通の人には想像もつかないのは無理もありません。
And I guess, sorry Ayuka here and Juichiro.
サブコンとコンタクトを取るには特殊な訓練を受けてハイウェイを自在に飛び回る力を持つ必要がある。 イリアさんのように。
それが宝行イリアが東京メガフロートに連れて行かれた理由？
我々は宝行イリアに協力を仰ぎ、東京という脳に生まれたサブコンという意識を東京メガフロートに幽閉し紐づけた。生命都市を自らの身体と認識することで彼女は繁殖することができる。複製としての新たな都市を生み出す。
Yeah, I get it now. I guess that analogy with the clock is true.
そのはずだった。
So she still knew that the Tokyo Mega Float was, a non-living thing. It's just a body. Sophia's face contorts. A hint of frustration creeps into her voice.
それはミルグラムの仕掛けた巧妙な罠だ。人類の秩序と進歩を目指す東京リバースプロジェクトは文字通り追放に帰したと。
だけだったらよかったですね。
Kiriri heaves a sigh. Yes, this is where the problem arises.
生命都市が生きている都市ならば殺すことができる。殺せるならばリビングデッドにすることもできる。
Wow, I see. I guess that's why we kept thinking that it seems like a living dead.
それがミルグラムが試みようとしたネクロポリス計画だ。
バカな。ミルグラムの目的が生命都市のリビングデッド化だったっていうのか？
Yeah, it actually sounds insane if you word it out.
私がスカベンジャーとかいう液体を運んだのは生命都市のリビングデッド化を阻止するため？
そういうことだ。
Unfortunately, she failed to deliver it. So if Etika was not a living dead at that point, we would have the scavenger and this whole route wouldn't happen the way it did. If it had been cast into the city's core, it likely would have prevented the current situation.
リブマテリアルには自らの複製を作る機構が備わっている。
I see.
ただ無尽蔵に増殖することを防ぐため人工細胞の制御機構が組み込まれているのだ。おそらくミルグラムのレムレースはその機構を破壊しているのだろう。
止めることはできないんですか？
Crap, I'm getting sleepy, but I need to finish this today. I am not stopping till we're done.
生命都市の中にはまだサブコンの意識があるはずです。意識があればある程度は自分の体をコントロールできるはず。
それはどうかな。
Sophia presents a diagram of the mesh network.
メッシュネットワークに宿る無意識にしか過ぎなかったサブスタンスコンセプトは宝行イリアとの接触で意識に目覚めた。そして今や彼女は生命都市とそれを構成するリビングデッドマテリアルという身体を獲得した。
Living dead material, huh? Undead matter created by Milgram injecting life material with lemurs replicates itself endlessly while absorbing humanity's negative emotions.
そのまま海底に沈んでいればサブコンの意識は方向づけられずに済んだだろう。実際我々もメッシュジャマーで外界との通信を切断することでそれが達成できると踏んでいた。まさか海底ケーブルで有線接続するなどという原始的な手段で通信を確立するとは。天地十一郎もさすがに老快だ。
Kiriri recalls what Kagekatsu told her. He warned her to remain wary of the Tokyo Bay. Now she understands what he meant.
神にも等しい能力を持つ彼女だが善悪の判断は存在しない。彼女の行動原理は誰にも理解できない。
イリアちゃんは例外だ。
Etika butts into the conversation, unable to restrain herself any longer.
イリアちゃんはサブコンと話せる。中に吸い込まれたけど、でも生きてるってソウンが言ってた。
そのイリアさんも罪の意識に押しつぶされています。今回の出来事は全て自分のせいだと。いなくなってしまえばよかったと。むしろ私には彼女の絶望がサブコンに影響を与えているようにも見えました。
Duh, it's literally the driving force for Subcon trying to erase her sadness. Ethica slaps a palm to her head. Iria willingly threw herself into the living dead material. And if she has that much influence on Subcon, then that black wave is Iria's despair incarnate.
でもそうはまだ諦めてない。
That's right, you bastards. Ethica's words are directed more at herself than anyone else. The living dead material continues to expand, minute by minute. No ideas are forthcoming. Their opponent cannot be fought against or fled from. But time still marches on. Man, I don't even know if Nagisa and, Mitsumi are still alive. Sophia Kawarazaki returns to Tokyo Central Geothermal Power Station with Yamanuma. The reason why Iria is alive is because Subcon, consciously knows and is protecting Iria. But she's not going to protect anyone else. When and where the living dead material can be stopped is what will decide how much heat will remain in Tokyo. The hot pipes are the city's lifeline. Kiriri doesn't have much time left either. Chaos has erupted throughout Tokyo. People have begun rioting in the face of encroaching death. Direct action is required, and soon. Even now, faint explosions can be heard coming from Ueno, usually one of the safer districts in Tokyo. Ethica, sitting inside the Kolakanta, calls out to Kiriri as she prepares to drive off.
キリね、気をつけてね。
エチカちゃんもね。
She doesn't tell her not to do anything reckless. They've already lost too much. It's past the point of being able to play it safe. Some risks must be taken. The Krellicon sets off toward Shinjuku. Ethica is heading back to the office with Tokitaka, so that they can get their equipment together and prepare for anything that might happen. Kiriri can't afford to dawdle either. But as she heads to her Strider, she pauses to address the woman standing in the entranceway of the building.
ソリアユカさん、あなたはどうするつもりですか？
もう少しここにいます。
If that dusky red menace is truly an expression of Iria's despair, then Nagaoka Son is the only one who can resolve the situation. But he isn't an expert on the highway. Outside assistance is required.
よろしくお願いします。
はい。
That will have to do. Kiryu has things to attend to. And yet, her legs don't seem to budge. She doesn't want to leave, but neither does she know what to say. This could be her last chance to talk with her. Her lips tremble ever so slightly.
キリリ。
Ayuka's tone changes. Something suddenly surfaces from the depths of Kiriri's memories. A faint image, coming into focus.
お母さん。
あなたは正しいことをした。おこやすさんの死に顔は後悔に満ちていたわ。
The one thing Kiriri wanted to hear most. Her greatest lingering regret. And yet, the one thing she wanted to know least.
ごめんなさい。私。
Ayuka clasps Kiriri's shaking hands. Memories of her youth come flooding back. She would never mistake the sensation of her mother's touch.
おこやすさんは亡くなったわ。もしその後悔を拭ってやることができる人がいるならば、それは私でもない。エチカさんでもない。あなたよ、キリリ。
でもそんな。私はダメ。
There's no one else Kiriri can show this much vulnerability to. Her face crunches up, but she holds back the tears.
だって私はエチカちゃんを守れなかった。おこやすさんだってきっとエチカちゃんとうまくやれたのに。
Man, I feel like this would have been a lot more impactful if we know about Kiriri's route first. This is definitely not Kiriri's route. This is definitely the true route, damn it! God damn it! I'm so mad at myself for picking this route!
苦しみを抱え込まないでいいわ。おこやすさんは最後に苦しみを私に分かち合ってくれたのだから。
He should have fucking cut you up so that this wouldn't have happened. It's like a valve bursts. Kiriri cannot contain herself any longer. Hokoyasu's torment, hidden behind that iron mask. He was finally able to let it show, to expose himself to someone. Ayuka gently grips Kiriri's trembling shoulders. She is a machine. Kiriri knows that. Yet her body is so very soft, and smells faintly of lotus flowers. Surprise, sadness, helplessness, warmth, strength, exhilaration, difficulty, fright, guilt, desire, vastness, hatred, envy, affection, dread. I swim through the rapid currents of the prismatic sea of data, letting my sense of smell guide me. My sense of smell is a bit more keen than most people's. A red thread binds us together. Not even death can sever it. I pull on it as hard as I can. Little by little, I close the distance with Iria. Slowly but surely, I draw closer. A distortion runs through the highway. The space around me warps. It feels like something is wringing my body out. Something doesn't want me here. My senses are scrambled. My consciousness threatens to break apart. It's trying to erase me. I focus on the red thread tied around my pinky, doing my best to weather the attack. With some effort, I'm able to escape the distortion. But something's wrong with the highway. It's no longer shining with all the colors of the rainbow. Instead, it's taken on a dark red hue. I know this color. Dusky red. I can feel pure malice approach from behind. Several knives pursue me, spinning rapidly. They're not aimed at me, but at the red thread extending from my fingertip. I pull back my hand, narrowly avoiding the blade, but more knives approach. I evade as best as I can, trying to defend the thread bound around my finger, but I'm not used to controlling my body in a virtual environment. I cannot let this thread be severed. Here, will rules over all. I just need to imagine, to recall that sensation. Two re-eliminators appear in my hands, and my X-Brain covers my head. My X-Brain provides suggestions like usual. I strike the knives flying at me with my muzzle spikes, beating them away. I fire my re-eliminators, shooting down the wave of blades rushing at me. The blades are crushed to pieces, not severing a single thread tied to my finger. A single thread? When did this happen? The red thread extending from my pinky has split itself. And not into 2 or 3. There's at least 100 of them. They spread out in all directions without any discernible pattern. Only one of them connects me to Iria. A cunning trap. I envision the sensation of closing my eyes. The world goes dark. I've become accustomed enough to the highway that I'm able to cut off my senses like this. All I need to hear is my heartbeat. And Iria's. Nothing else matters. I block it all out. The shortest distance between us. Follow that thread. I open my eyes once more. The fake threads lose their color and crumble away, leaving just one behind. I can hear Iria's heartbeat on the other side, like using a cup and wire. Yes, this is the thread connecting us. I focus my consciousness into my hand, pushing it through the thread wrapped around my finger. Faster than the pulsating lights, faster than the highway's current. My body is drawn to its destination. But a figure catches up alongside me. I know who this is. I became distinctly aware of her when I entered the highway. Substance Concept. The new form of intelligent life born from Tokyo's mesh network. I know intuitively, she was the one trying to stop me.
僕はイリアを助けに来た。君はイリアの友達だったはずだ。どうして邪魔するんだ。
Iria's expression when we parted ways flashes through my mind. Seeing me only causes her pain.
そうかもしれない。でも、それは必要なことなんだ。
I can feel Subcon's confusion. She harbors no ill will toward me. She's only trying to protect Iria. She's unaware of what sadness is, of why we acquired it during the process of evolution. She doesn't understand what it means to overcome it, what it means to have hope for the future.
通らせてもらうよ。
That's right, Son. I accelerate even further. Subcon ceases her pursuit. The dusky red lights fade away, and the world grows bright. I return to the day it all started, to that snowbound ruin. A pair of tire tracks weaves through the acidic snow. They lead me to a familiar car. The red string of fate extends directly into its trunk. I approach it slowly, deliberately, the howling wind drowning out the sound of my footsteps. I gently place my hand on the unlocked trunk. The compressed air car sits alone in the dead, silent ruins, its contours slowly being consumed by the falling snow. The world around me is one black of white. One of black and white, all colors lost. The trunk slowly opens. I feel like the protagonist of a fantasy novel, unsealing a hidden treasure in the depths of a secret temple. The trunk is empty. Where is she? I look back at the red string. It wasn't leading into the trunk, simply passing through it. It extends into the snow beyond. I pull back my hand back hard. What the? I pull back my hand hard. Typo there. Reeling the string in. I pull back again and again, until eventually I find... a girl, running along the snow, leaving footprints in her wake. A red string is tied snugly around her finger. I chase after her. Sitting in the underground torture chamber, Kansu monitors Son's condition. The waveform of his brain, made up of multiple overlaid holograms, shines with a dazzling glow. It passes through his X-brain, its light extending far and beyond. Son dove deep into the highway, knowing full well he might never return to this world. He's too far in for Kansu to go after him, no matter how much synesthesia she takes.
Liza-san.
Guess we will see your backstory now, Kansu. Kansu's name during her time at the Ikebukuro CPC. The door swings open unexpectedly. Kansu's body jolts.
今の名前はコンスーでしたか。
I wonder if we don't go through the, like, you know, like true ending like right here, we would slowly get the pieces bit by bit on the other routes. But the fact that I am in this ending, I know everything now because they actually explain it. I'm so sad.
名前は変わっても性格は当時とあまり変わりませんね。
Kansu averts her gaze. If anyone hasn't changed, it's Soria Yuka. She's an android after all. She looks and sounds exactly the same as she did all those years ago.
どうして秘密をばらさなかったの？
What's your secret, Kansu?
明かされたかったのですか？罰せられれば自分の気が楽になったと思いますか？
わからない。
私は知っています。自分の罪を許すことができるのは自分だけです。実は私も共犯者でした。
共犯者？
ええ。あのセキュリティホールを見逃したのは私です。
どうしてあなたは浜地忠一郎の言いなりじゃ？
言われてないところまで守る必要はありません。
It's coming back to her now. While Ayuka is soft-spoken, she is far from submissive.
あゆか、崩壊はしてないの？
私は神様ではありません。私があのセキュリティホールを指摘していれば、あるいはあなたがそこに目をつけて監視装置をハッキングしなければ、イリアさんがザ・フォートレスから誘拐されることはなかった。
Okay, so they're really just talking about the fact that Iria escaped because of Kansu.
しかし、それは折り重なる因果の一側面にしか過ぎない。何もかもを見通すことはできない。
Thought they were going to talk about some other secrets.
すべてを恐れれば、家から一歩踏み出すことさえできないでしょう。
True. And that is what Kansu is doing.
でも、コンスーさん、このままここにいたところで、あなたが生きていられる保証はありません。ずっとこうしているつもりですか？
Perhaps if it were, she wouldn't have ended up like this. Why does she have to be this way?
だからソウンが。
確かにイリアさんにとって彼は大切な存在かもしれません。でもあなただってそうですよ。
もし万が一そうだとして私にできることはないから。
Ayuka grabs Kansu by the hand.
そんなことはありませんよ。長くネクロマンシーと脳の関わりを見てきたあなたにはわかるはずです。今サブコンの体を動かしているのは何か。
Kansu thinks back to what Sophia said. The Tokyo Megafloat was constructed from a new type of smart material, made from artificial cells and living matter, life material. The artificial cells are bound together by artificial blood vessels. When seawater is pumped through these blood vessels, the life material can extract hydrogen from the sodium in the water. But the life material multiplying in the quarry right now is not green, but dusky red. What did Sophia call it? Living death material? Which means the city itself has been subjected to necromancy. It has become a necropolis.
もしも生命都市がネクロマンシーを受けたなら その動力源は感情。
憎しみ、悲しみ、恐れ。負の感情がリビングデッドを駆動させます。もともとサブスタンスコンセプトは感情に乏しい存在だった。しかし
Ayuka calls forth a hologram. It projects a diagram of Tokyo's mesh network. The information running through it is displayed in different colors according to its tone. Right now, the entire projection is glowing dusky red.
この色は。
ネットワークを行き交う情報を分析し、色分けしています。死を目前とした東京は、憎しみ、悲しみ、恐れ、負の感情に覆われている。それは、リビングデッドマテリアルの新たな動力源になるでしょう。すべての感情を飲み尽くし、東京が、あるいは世界が静止するその時まで。
So this is what Milgram sought to accomplish with his Necropolis project. Kansu realizes, even if a necromancer dies, the living dead they created will continue to act indefinitely, as long as their own bodies are not destroyed. It stands to reason that the living dead material will continue to act indefinitely as well. That it will consume the entirety of Tokyo, consume the terror of its citizens, spreading like a cancer. Once Tokyo falls, the rest of the world will get word of it one way or another. Hatred, sorrow, fear, negative emotions will spread out across the earth. The living dead material will use Tokyo's resources to continue to multiply, growing further in size. And it will seek out other cities, other hotbeds of emotion, that it might consume them as well. Before long, the earth will become one grand necropolis. Milgram's world is almost at hand.
コンスーさん、あなたにも東京に希望をもたらすことはできるはずです。
希望は。
If terror is the source of the living dead material's energy, the only way to stop it from growing is to give mankind hope. The logic itself is sound, but
どうして私がそんなの無理。
this is turning into Danganronpa, man.
イリアさんならできます。
Ayuka's words grab Kansu by the collar, holding her in place.
あなたが仮想環境プログラムを作り続けたのは彼女に憧れたからでしょ。
ごめんなさい。一人にして。
Once Ayuka is gone, Konsu slumps down against a wall. Tokyo glows with dusky red terror. Is it really possible to dilute that color with hope? And through a virtual environment program? No. Of course not. Only Iria could manage that. She was the one who studied under Ayuka, who created so many beautifully compelling virtual environments, imbued with artistry and talent. Kansu is capable of nothing more than imitating her. What has she created? Nothing but games, mere toys. Her creations could never give someone hope. She's exhausted, physically and mentally. The prismatic light she spent countless sleepless nights creating glimmers before her. Connecting a living dead's consciousness to the highway via the X-brain to stimulate their emotions. Just achieving that much was a small miracle. Her body and mind are shot. What more can anyone expect out of her? She's at her limit. She can't take any more. Are you sure? It was her friend that noticed that something was off about the experimentation ward on the 6th floor. There is an odd gap in the floor's room plan. Her friend was able to detect it thanks to enhanced senses brought about by repeated experimentation. And thus, she had hidden the fact that her powers had already awakened from everyone around her. But now, it was time to play that trump card. The children living in the facility were to be asleep by 9 p.m. Each room's inhabitants had their vital signs strictly monitored. But she had long since created a backdoor in that program. Ostensibly, the facility provided a special development program. A more accurate way of describing it would be as human experimentation on war orphans. For better or worse, their experiments were a success, granting her superhuman hacking skills. Slipping past the security system's watchful gaze was child's play. With her friend by her side, she set out to investigate the hidden room. Normally, the cries of terrified children rang out incessantly within the experimentation ward. Now, however, it was pitch black and silent, somehow even more ominous. Everyone should have been asleep, so why did their cries echo through her mind? She gripped her friend's hand, and her friend gripped hers in turn. Her friend was her source of support. Just holding her hand made her forget her fears. If it weren't for her friend, she probably would have lost her mind long ago, just like all of the other children taken to the experimentation ward. Responding to her connery, the hidden door opened, bringing light to the dark corridor. Waiting on the other side was a woman. A faint floral aroma hung in the air.
こんばんは。私の名前はソリアユカです。あなたたちの名前は?
She answered with the name she went by at the time.
私はリザ。
Her friend followed after her.
私は宝行イリア。
何の用事ですか?
お願い。私たちを外に連れ出して。
No future awaited them here. She knew that all too well. That's why she staked it all on this expedition. Why she played her trump card. So that they might break out of these walls. That they might spread their wings and escape this place. That they might have hope for the future. It all started with hope. The wish to escape the facility was what spurred the two of them to action. When the Ikebukuro Child Protection Center shut down, Kansu and Iria were separated. The other children were transferred to another Empire Energy Corp facility in order to prevent them from speaking out about what was done to them. As far as Kansu knows, they remain confined there to this day. Kansu managed to escape, making her way to the Hyper Ghetto. There, she took on a new identity and began a new life. That was why she hid herself away in Snowbound Nirvana to begin with.
未来のために逃げ出したのに閉じこもるなんて私バカだ
Kansu rises to her feet. Ayuka is waiting for her at the top.
早く
はい。
お願いします。私に仮想環境プログラムを教えてください。
Ayuka takes her hand and smiles.
もちろん。
Ah, this is exactly how she reacted when she asked her to take them out of the facility.
でも今回は時間がありません。私も一緒にお手伝いします。
ありがとう。
Ayuka was Iria's mentor. Iria made midnight chores with her assistants. With Ayuka helping out, she might just be able to pull this off. No more moping around. Time for action. But it seems there's a new problem to contend with. Why didn't Ayuka just make this program herself, I wonder?
はい。わかります。
Ayuka's expression visibly clouds over.
メッシュネットワークが情報統制されている。
By who? I'm a dead woman. No sense in bothering to pack my stuff. I doubt I'll get much use out of it. I'll take this opportunity to tie up any loose ends. I look at the fish bathed in red light. Their tank is the entirety of their world. They can never escape it. Their lives are my responsibility. Guess I'll drain the water.
おめえら
They flock to the water's surface, thinking I'm about to feed them. The fate of Tokyo doesn't concern them. All they care about is eating, playing, and having fun. That's why I kept them. Just watching them swim around without a care in the world brought a smile to my face. Ah! God damn it! When did I get so complacent? We don't know for sure that the living dead material is going to consume all of Tokyo. I have to keep struggling, down to the very last moment. That's what Kibanohara Ethica is all about. Some things don't change, whether you're alive or dead.
Tokitaka, 荷物は
まずいな。
Tokitaka gazes at the monitor, his trusty Ogasawara TFD-20 in hand. Displayed on the monitor is live footage from Shinagawa. The living dead material has started heading inland from the Bay Area. It expands, consuming everything in its path. Roads, buildings, hot pipes, people. I watch as familiar locales sink into the Black Sea. Soon, not even screams can be heard. The military police have mobilized their Grey Chameleons in full force to fend it off, but their attacks seem to be worse than ineffective. It's actually absorbing the munitions fired at it.
て出しようがないな。ホットパイプも
The living dead material starts extending its tendrils to the main hot pipe, running along the old Yamanote line. A gunship swoops in and fires its 20mm electric discharge Gatling guns at the mass. Even the military police are no longer concerned with damaging the hot pipes if it means stopping this thing. 5,400 rounds per minute bore into the dusky red wave, only to be swallowed up. Tendrils burst forth from the water, coiling around the gunship's rotors. The gunship can't maintain its altitude, spiraling toward the old Yamanote Line's elevated bridge. An explosion reverberates through the city, stoking the flames of terror ever higher. A hole is torn in the main hot pipe, thick steam billowing out in plums. The gunship is no longer visible. Steam fills the screen, and the feed cuts out.
まずい感じだな。なんか方法がありゃいいんだけど。ん？時とか？
Tokitaka silently hangs his head. He must have been pretty affected by what he just saw. Right. That's the kind of reaction someone's supposed to have to seeing that sort of thing. I smack myself on the head. Looks like my emotions are still fading away, even with my X-brain active. A commotion stirs up outside. The broadcast just now was more than enough to get the point across to everyone in the city. If they don't run, they're in mortal danger. And running they are.
俺たちも逃げるか？
どこへ？
どこ？
Oh, sorry about that. Was gonna mute my mic, but I forgot. Or I was too late. We're in the middle of an ice age. It's not exactly realistic to live somewhere without hot pipes. Slim pickings for places outside of Tokyo. Only the provincial cities are really an option.
まあリビングデッドストーカーなら受け入れてもらえるかもな。でも普通の人は無理だ。
There are a few communities here and there that make use of geothermal energy, but they're nowhere near Tokyo's size. Their capacity to accommodate people is limited, and it's not exactly easy to get them in the first place. Okay. Ain't no way you're de-icing any of those roads. Gunships are limited in number, and while there are cold-resistant vehicles capable of driving through the wastelands, there's still nowhere near enough of them to evacuate everyone in Tokyo.
分かってるよ。
それに仮に移住できたところであの拡大が東京で止まるって保証はない。
分かってるって言われなくても。 それでも命が助かる可能性があるならやるしかないだろ。エチカのお姉さんみたいにさ。
Kiri. Her name alone is enough to make my dead heart stir. She's dedicated to protecting others. She'd never just abandon someone and run. That's what makes Kiri Kiri.
くそ。
You already have me. I'll die as many times as you want. Just keep Kiri safe.
ん？誰だよこんな時に。
Tokitaka uses his conry to check on the front door. There's no one there.
なんだ？いたずらか？
ちょっと待った。
My ex-brain brings up a suggestion. I call up the security camera footage Tokitaka was about to delete. I change the camera's angle and zoom in. Konsu? Right in front of the entrance, lying helpless on the ground, is a single drone beetle. Huh? But why? Vendors call out to potential customers from all around. Steam wafts into the air, carrying with it the thick aroma of meat buns. Holographic neon lights flicker. The pungent smell of alcohol exudes from a Rose Giblet Tavern, an accurate reproduction of Amehoko streets. Iria runs as fast as she can, bumping into passerby and running through the aisle of shops. She can't let him catch her. As she runs, she catches a whiff of roasted chestnuts. She can still remember perfectly how they tasted on that day.
Iria!
Someone emerges in front of her, shouting her name. Her heart wavers. In this world, one's will is power. She can't let him get the better of her. Iria turns and runs back the way she came. Someone's the faster runner, and he has a much better understanding of Amehoko than she does. It's only a matter of time until he catches her. Unless she can take the advantage. Iria takes cover in Site 7. She crouches down and hides beside a figure shelf, taking care not to disturb any of the items on display. Her memory of this place is much more vivid than Sone's. That will let her manipulate the environments to her advantage. At the same time, that means it's all the more painful. She can clearly recall every word they exchange in this store, every last detail of their visit.
Iria! どこだ?
Someone's voice very nearly makes her bolt from her hiding place. Besides, your body and physical prowess here are based on your experiences in the real world. Unless she has some major opening to take advantage of, Soen, proficient as he is in CQAMA, will have no trouble catching her. Soen approaches, checking the cosplay shelves as he walks past. His eyes are sharp, alert. Her chances of slipping by him unnoticed are slim. He comes one step closer, then another. What do I do? Do I run? Or do I... A voice calls out from the back of the store. The subculture artisan points in the direction opposite of area to the deepest corner of the store. Soen turns his head that way. Thank you, sir. Iria makes her escape as Soen is distracted. Why the fuck would you believe him, Soen? What the fuck? The Shibuya Scramble crossing. Iria stoops low, hiding amid a group of pedestrians waiting for the signal to change.
Iria! どこだ?
Soen's voice booms out from right behind her. Iria dashes out into the crosswalk, lights still red. Most of the cars stop a good distance away, but an illegal vehicle comes very close to hitting her. Iria pulls herself away from it and sprints to the other side of the crosswalk. Soen rushes after her. He jumps over the cars in his way, pursuing with superhuman speed. Iria reflexively multi-flicks. She uses her conry to hack the traffic lights, turning them to green. Pedestrians rush into the crossing.
すいません。どいてください。
Soen is pushed back by the wave of pedestrians. Soen, these are all mirages, man. You're still in the highway, damn it. This should have bought her some time. But now, Son has equipped his X-Brain. He resumes his pursuit, abiding by its suggestion to find the shortest, fastest route possible. Dream of the red chamber catches Iria's eye. She's about to dive into it, but turns around at the last second. She has too many fond memories of that place. The longer she continues running from Son, the longer she will have to confront her memories. Her memories of the days she spent with him. Asakusa Cyber Kaminarimon. The road is packed with tourists, but she pays them no heed.
頼む僕の話を聞いてくれ
Iria ignores Son and performs another multi-flick gesture. Several pipe runners drop to the ground, destroying a hot pipe in the process. Hot steam fills the area. It's too thick to see through. Tourists begin to panic. Yet Son remains unfazed. He plows forward through the hot steam, headed directly for Iria. Guided by the red string. As long as this connects the two of them, he'll make his way to her eventually. If she truly wants to escape, she has to sever the thread. But she can't do that. No matter what, she can't do that. I follow the red string. Iria runs, yelling at me to stop following her. Etika always calls me bungling. I don't disagree. I often have a hard time discerning women's feelings. Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing here. Maybe she hates me now. I hate that it had to come to this. But I have to chase after her all the same. I pass through the shopping mall and approach the Fountain Plaza. This is where Milgram defeated me. Where I died. The bloodstain is still on the floor. If I hadn't died, would you have never made that face? Would things have turned out differently? I wish I could know. We could in another route. Our chase ends on the rooftop of the Ikebukuro CPC, the place so reminiscent of Midnight Shores. Iria stands silently amid the falling snow. Her gaze is fixed on the red string tied around her finger. She seems to have no strength left in her to keep running.
やっと追いついた
どうしてそうだってここにいたらダメなのにこんな深くに来たってことはだって
I'm already dead, Iria.
僕はコンスーに頼んでエクスブレインをハイウェイに直結してもらった。多分もう戻れない。
なんでそんなことしたの？
君に会いたかったから。
So that's what it was. I really am a fool. It took me this long to realize. I came here for one simple reason. To see Iria again. Nothing less, nothing more.
そうなんで笑うの？だって私は君に会わなければ。
僕は死んだ。
Iria tenses up.
でもそのことは後悔してない。むしろ死んでから生きていくことの大切さを知ったような気がするんだ。僕はいつもベストを尽くした。ここにたどり着く以外の方法はなかった。自分の意志でここまで来たんだ。君に会えてよかった。
そう私も君に会えてよかった。
I'd finally caught her. I embraced her firmly in my arms. This is no illusion, no trick. Iria is here with me. And she makes me happy. She makes me so happy. We sit down on a bench together. Iria's fingers are entwined with mine. Our bodies close. The man-made beach spreads out before us.
君と行きたかったな。本物の浜辺の風景。もう海の中に沈んじゃったけど。
ねえ、ソウン、見に行こっか。
見に行く。
本物の浜辺の風景。
でもそれってハイウェイの仮想環境プログラムじゃ。
もうこれだからオールトタイプは。
What?
物理的な世界を上位に捉えるなんて慣習にとらわれた考え方だよ。ここには本物も偽物もない。あるのは電気信号のやり取りと、そこから生み出された純粋な感情だけ。仮想環境での出来事が現実なの。
Really? This might be too advanced for me.
もうだったら体で教えてあげるよ。この世界がすごくすごくすごく楽しいってこと。
Iria pulls on my hand, leading me after her. That smile of hers erases any temptation I might have had to resist.
皆さん、早く避難を。
Kiriri stands at the center of the dream of the Red Chamber's dance floor, desperately calling out to its patrons. Her pleas fall on deaf ears. Everyone on the dance floor is tripping on electric signal drugs, oblivious to the world. They continue whipping their bodies violently to and fro. It's doubtful any of them even realize something is amiss outside. The Tetra Dragon's heads, the rulers of Chinatown, have already escaped north. The mesh network isn't functioning properly, but based on Kiriri's strategy support software's estimates, the first wave of living dead material should arrive within 5 minutes. There isn't much time left. Kiriri hurries to the DJ booth and fires her gun at the turntable. The music comes to an abrupt halt, pulling the tripping clubgoers out of their reveries. They mill about the dance floor, still half delirious.
軍警察の強制捜査だ。
Screams rise from the dance floor. Anyone here likely has more than a thing or two they'd like to keep hidden from the authorities. The patrons remove their electric signal drugs and rush to the exit in a state of panic. Some people are injured in the havoc, but it's better than staying oblivious to the city's crisis and being consumed by the living death material. The people in the arcade already seem to have evacuated too.
しまった。
There's an electric signal drug den on the other side of the dance hall. A room where heavy users who have destroyed their bodies are taken care of. They won't be able to escape on their own. Kiriri uses her all-purpose simple strategy support software to call a public taxi and heads to the back of the club. Man, you're too much of a good shoes, Kiri. Shibuya Scramble Crossing is filled with people running for their lives. Brawls are beginning to break out over public taxis. Had Kiri not been in her military police uniform, she wouldn't have been able to so much as pick up a taxi, let alone evacuate others.
これで最後。
Thankfully, there were only 3 people left in the electric signal drug den. Kiriri carried their emaciated bodies to the public taxi waiting outside by herself. She isn't sure how far they'll be able to make it, but for now, they have to go north. The support software tells her there's only 30 minutes left before the black wave consumes the entirety of Shibuya. Time is of the essence. Steam spouts out of the old Yamanote Line's elevated bridge. A dusky red wave of living dead material spills forth from the direction of Aoyama, rupturing a hot pipe in the process. Where is high ground? Kiriri tries to run up Dogenzaka, but she's still out of breath from carrying people to the taxi. Her body won't let her proceed. She feels a moist tendril wrap itself around her ankle. Kiriri's voice is drowned out by screams of terror and agony. She lifts her leg, only for her arms to be caught. She shakes off its grip on her arm, only for it to grab her by the thighs and send her tumbling to the ground. Her body is absorbed into the dusky red mass, but the feeling that rises up in her isn't disgust, anguish, or even fear at the prospect of death. It's emptiness. She can't feel anything. No warmth, no pulse. It's like her senses have been completely absorbed into the thing. Her body is sinking into a quagmire of emptiness. Man, I really want to finish this, but I feel like my voice actually can't keep up. I've been voice acting for the past like 4.5 hours, man. Fuck! I'm actually so sad. I'm actually feeling it. That's why I've been like coughing. Ah! Fuck! There's just so much dialogue in this game. As if she's sinking into death itself. She tries to fight her way out, but the void saps her willpower. Because I feel it when I'm like voicing the text, the sentences. I feel like I'm out of breath. Well, not out of breath, but my throat kinda feels weird. Soon, she can see nothing, hear nothing. There's no escape. But even so, Kiriri reaches out, extending her hand. She kicks, screams, and struggles, her mind focused on the person she loves most. Ethica would never give up. Man, I am sorry for you guys, but I have to stop here. I want to continue. If I wasn't voice acting this game, I would have finished this game today. But my voice is probably not going to make this enjoyable for you guys if I keep even making the I keep making mistakes on the sentences that I, narrate too. So it kind of annoys me, the fact that I feel like I'm rushing the game by doing that. I don't want to rush the game. I want this to be an enjoyable experience, and I feel like if I were to keep continuing, it won't be enjoyable for you guys. And it won't be enjoyable for my throat. So I am sadly gonna have to end it right here. I will be playing this again tomorrow, though. I am finishing this tomorrow. I thought I was gonna be finishing this today, but holy moly macaroni. This fucking true route keeps going forever. My friend told me that he first got Iria's route and finished it in 12 hours. I played this for a good almost 20 hours, man. What the fuck? And this is my first route. So with that, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access if you guys want that. And I am very appreciative that there's actually no H scene in this true route. I am so happy about that. Because the H scenes will probably ruin some of the moments. And with that, I am going to be finishing the recording session for today. And we will be finishing it off tomorrow. See ya.